After months of it being on back order, it is finally here, my NutriMill Harvest Grain Mill. I've been dreaming of baking with freshly milled flour, and today we are unboxing it, trying it out for the first time, and finding out, is freshly milled flour really worth it? This dang mill finally came back in stock. And I got the prettiest color that they had, in my opinion. Isn't she beautiful? She's beautiful. I am so excited. Y'all, it has been months, maybe years, that I have been on the wait list for one of these things, and every time it comes available, I don't see my email or something happens and I miss it. So this is a very exciting day. This is the Harvest in green. I'll admit, part of me wanted it just because it's so gorgeous. But more than that, I feel like I'm joining a whole new world of baking. To start, I picked up 3 different wheat berries: hard white, soft white, and einkorn. Hard white is great for breads, soft white for cookies and cakes, and einkorn, well, it's a steeper learning curve, but I've been baking with it for years, so I had to include it, of course. And I'll go ahead and put those in jars just for the aesthetics of it on my countertop, and so that I can see how much I have in stock and what I need to reorder. A little finer. The setup is really simple. You just turn this dial on the top to adjust how fine or coarse you want your flour. It's completely intuitive. The one thing I didn't expect is it is loud. About like a blender loud, but it only runs for a minute or so, and then you've got fresh flour, so totally worth it. It was just funny the first time we turned it on because we did not expect that. We did it! We milled our own flour, guys. Is that cool?
But how do you smell this?
This is what makes flour. This is how flour grows and the farms, and then this, you grind it down to get this, and that's what you buy at the store. Let's get our scale. 405 grams of flour. So let's see what we got here.
Are you gonna pour it back in, Mommy?
Uh-oh. Need some more. Ready? For my very first recipe, I went with a simple hard white wheat bread, 100% freshly milled flour. Even though I've been baking for years, this felt like starting all over again. The dough behaves differently and the flavor is so much deeper and richer. When my husband tried it, he said that we are never going back, which I was very happy to hear that the investment was worth it to him. I will link the recipe that I used here. I measured my flour wrong, a little less than I was supposed to have. However, everything came out good. So something different is I am usually making sourdough. However, I'm going to make a yeast bread for my first one just to get my feet wet. And you want to mix everything together in the mixer and let it sit to absorb the water before you add in your yeast. So I'll let that sit for about an hour or 2 and come back to it shortly. In the meantime, we are going to try out some sugar cookies and chocolate chip cookies with soft white wheat. So I'll get some of that milled here. You guys, I was shocked. The flavor is incredible. Like, there is this depth you just don't get with store-bought flour. So On to my second recipe. So far, I love how user-friendly this is. It is as simple as turning the dial, and after a couple of uses, you already get that feel for how fine or coarse you like it. My biggest tip, always loosen the stone before turning it off. That's definitely something it says you have to do, and that is supposed to save your stones from needing maintenance. The instructions are very straightforward and clear. I was able to start using it the moment I took it out of the box, which I absolutely love. So back to that bread, I added in the yeast and mixed it up. And from this point, after that yeast is mixed in, you will turn on your mixer. And this is something different. It does have to knead for quite some time. So I think I kneaded this for 25 minutes before the gluten started to form in the bread. And I'll show you what that looks like. But at first, it's very wet and sticky and shaggy. And the more that you let it knead, the more the gluten forms and it comes together to pass the window pane test before you roll it out and put it in your baking dish. So after kneading, I will then set it aside for another rise for about 2 hours. And once it has doubled, I will then roll it out and put it into my loaf pan. But I needed to move it out of the way, out of this bowl, so that I could get back to my cookies and cream some butter and coconut sugar. I always sub out coconut sugar in my recipes. Add some vanilla, an egg, and some lemon juice, and then pour in our freshly milled flour and let that mix up nicely. And getting a little sugar ready to dip those sugar cookies in. And yes, I'm using an organic regular sugar. This is what my husband prefers for his sugar cookies, and these are just for him. We are doing the chocolate chip for me and the kids. So I just used the same dough that the sugar cookies called for and just added some chocolate chips on the top instead of adding sugar. And y'all, these were just so incredible. The depth of flavor is insane. I cannot believe that I have waited this long to try freshly milled flour for my baking. Oh, I'm so excited about it. It's so, so good. This bread, my first freshly milled loaf. I could not be more proud. Everybody loved it. My children loved it. And I feel so good about feeding them baked goods from flour that has not been processed in any way. It's beautiful, it's delicious, and I could not be happier. So if you've been thinking about starting to mill your own flour, the NutriMill Harvest has been such a great first step for me. You can use code BLOOMINGBAYOU for $20 off of a mill of your own at checkout. And I will link the exact model that I purchased below if you're interested in this exact one. At the time of this video, they are in stock. If you've been waiting, I would go ahead and snag you one now. This feels like a whole new chapter of baking for me, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Thanks for baking with me. Until next time, bye y'all.